everyone is doing well on this Thursday morning. I would like to ask you, after going through a lot of hell to get this technical up, could you guys confirm that the audio is working on your side? Can you guys hear me? Can you drop a 1 in the chat if you can hear me?
Yep.
All right, great. All right, so you guys, I want to acknowledge something real quick. So you guys could be really anywhere right now. I know that we are in the throes of the spring market, and you chose to be here, and you chose to put some trust in me. And once again, I'm grateful for that. Now, by being here, by investing time and effort and struggle into your business, you are already head and shoulders above your competition, because I hate throwing around this stat, but it needs to be stated that 71% of agents did not sell a single house last year. And as such, my camera just locked out. And as such, that puts you guys kind of in an elite place. So today, on the very first Stewards call, we are not going to do necessarily a training. What we're going to do is we are going to take care of the things that God gave us, and show you guys how to get rid of the things that are going to be distractions for you guys going forward. So by the time that we are done with this call, you are going to have a clear 12-month target as far as how many units that you want to do. You're going to see that broken down into the 4 pillars of business. Let me see here. Let me pull up my slides real quick. All right. Can you guys see slides okay? All right. Access your tracker that I've been building for you, and then turn on your scoreboard. So before we dive in, I want to actually kind of get a little bit of a sense about where you guys are right now. So how does your business feel right now? And I want you guys to drop this in the chat. Does your business feel chaotic? Does it feel stalled? Does it feel like it's growing? Which I hope so. And if not, does it feel completely random? So I want you guys to drop in the chat how you guys are feeling about your business right now. Hello? Can you guys hear me? All right, so drop in the chat how you guys are feeling about your business right now. Is it chaotic, random, growing, stalled? Once again, this is not a speech where I'm getting up here and doing this for my own health. I'm trying to help you guys. Random. All right, thank you, Jensen. All right, so let me see here. What we're going to do is by the end of today, we're going to have more intentionality built into the business, so that way we have the ability to be able to move forward and basically clear cut all the shit that you guys should not be doing that is just serving as distractions. So the one thing that I think, damn camera, need to do. I just need to talk less with my hands. So what I want you guys to do is I want you guys to drop in the chat what you guys think is holding your business back right now. And feel free to unmute, drop in the chat. What do you think the one thing is that's holding you back at the moment? Okay, systems. Thank you, Candace. Your FOMO. All right. Consistent outreach, organizations, systems, good, activities. This is good. Okay. System activity. So we're seeing some patterns here. Staying the course, so consistency. So what I do. All right. So where it comes down to it, there's 4 pillars of your business, and we're going to go into this a little bit more in depth here in a second. But each one of those things that you guys mentioned comes down to marketing, sales, operations, and finance. So the 4 pillars are marketing, sales, operations, and finance. So marketing, as an example, would be videos. It would be social media. It would be your ideal client running ads, getting found on ChatGPT, and having a website to speak of. So how many of you guys have enough leads coming in right now? Yes, no, shaking heads, enough? Okay. No. Okay. So speaking, this is where Chris and I, and once again, Chris, a lot of you guys have met Chris already, but Chris is helping make sure that we have people moving through the pipeline. My job is the marketing job. So not that I am not a loan officer anymore, but my sole focus is on acquisition, on getting people, consumers, agents to raise their hand to want to work with us. So if you are not getting enough leads coming in, it's that this is probably your bottleneck. This is the thing that we need to spend more time doing. So the good news is on these calls and in individual appointments with Chris and I, we are going to be helping you with video. We're going to be helping you with social media, your ideal client running ads, getting you found on chat, and your website. So this is where I'm spending a lot of my time, and this is where I'm going to help you on these calls. And this is where we're going to get more attention on your business. Okay. So the second tier is sales. So this is Chris's specialty. So converting leads, prospecting, handling objections, getting deals closed, your pipeline, your referral systems, scripts, and follow-up. So I'll give you a little bit of a tease for next week. So Chris is going to be on next week, and he's going to be showing us how we can fish in a different pond, or if we're fishing in the same pond, get better fish out of it by using better bait. And once again, Chris is by far the better salesperson than I am. So I'm going to stick to my lane, which is marketing. Chris is going to stick to his lane on helping you guys get your deals across the finish line. Operations. Now, this is the boring stuff. But if you get people to raise their hand to want to work with you, they say yes to you, and then now it's time to put up or shut up and actually fulfill on those promises that you made to them, what is your client experience like? What is it like getting them across the finish line? And really the big litmus test to this is, would you guys buy from yourself knowing all the ugly that you have in your operations? And that was a coming to Jesus moment when someone asked me that, is like, okay, Ryan, you could do all you say you could do all these things, but knowing all the warts in your business, would you buy from you? So we're going to help you guys work on this too. And then finance. So admittedly, I have not been the greatest with money. I have not been the greatest with stewarding the gifts that God gave me, the commission checks, this kind of thing. So I am actively working on improving my finance. So I'm not going to come at this as someone who has gobs of cash in the bank. I'm coming this as someone with humility that is working on plugging the holes in my leaky bucket. So your P&L, pricing, cash flow, those kind of things. How many of you guys run a P&L? Some, no, yes. How many of you guys can spell P&L? Yeah, there we go. We got some reaction out of you. So the good news is you guys are in the right place. I'm going to give you guys all the tools that you can have. Jenny, that's great. I'm glad that you have a P&L. So, and it really doesn't take that much time to get through a P&L each month. And you really only have to spend about 10 minutes reconciling your P&L at the end of the month. So this is not a big lift, but it is very telling if you're not doing it. All right. So what I want to do is I want to ask you guys, and feel free to unmute. I would like to ask you guys, what is the one, out of all the stuff that we mentioned, what is the one bottleneck that you guys have right now? The one that if you fix this thing, your business would unlock and you would move to that next tier. You would move from level 1 to level 3. So what do you guys think that your bottleneck is right now?
Ryan, can you hear me, Ryan? It's Brian.
Yeah, I gotcha.
Yeah. I don't know that it's one thing, but if I would say one thing, it is organizing my day and sticking to it.
Okay. So the consistency in your time block then?
Yeah. And I run into, I'll call it, and I think me and you have talked about this, important versus urgent.
Mm-hmm.
In everything we do. Real estate is time bound. And in many cases, we might be negotiating a deal, who knows what part of it, but that particular activity, in my opinion, of the way I do my business takes precedence over, let's say, making an outbound call to a, semi-warm lead or a cold lead.
Okay.
So
anybody else feel the same way?
But I'm done.
No, you're good, bud. Thank you. I appreciate, one, the bravery to speak up in front of the crowd. But, I think a lot of the people in our industry, and I've had one-on-one conversations with you guys a lot, I would say that a lot of us have ADHD in some capacity. and we chose squirrels and we chose cars because we have the fear of loss. And if we don't pivot to whatever comes up right then, whether it's a cut appraisal or a new lead or a house to set the market that that the Johnsons wanted to go see, like if we don't drop everything we're doing right then and sacrifice everything we're doing right then we're going to lose that opportunity. Does that sound about right? Okay. So with the bottleneck, if you can figure out what the true thing is that is keeping your business all right. Is that better? Thank you. Sorry, I was rubbing on my shirt. So if we can figure out what that one bottleneck is, that is going to give you a release from one tier to the next. And it is, I mean, I'm not talking about like a minute jump. I'm talking about a quantum leap. So I was looking at Chris's and I's credit pools this morning, and once again, this is going to sound very douchey, but because he and I have isolated into our own departments and we are only focusing on fixing the bottlenecks that we should be working on, it basically comes down to our credit pools. I think as of this morning, were like 27 for the month. And then the next closest two people combined was about 7. So by us hyper-focusing on what we are doing, that really has helped reduce the bottlenecks, because all I'm doing is focusing on marketing. All Chris is doing is focusing on moving the pipeline. So with this, I'm opening up the conversation to be able to have you guys reach out to Chris and I to try to get you guys unstuck. So I heard this from Hormozy not that long ago. So if you figure out what your one bottleneck is, how much time are you actually spending trying to fix that bottleneck? For most of us, it's just dabbling. Like I have an hour here, have an hour there. So if the bottleneck is the biggest thing that's keeping you from moving your business forward, we should be spending an inordinate amount of time trying to fix that bottleneck. Now, probably one of the things that you guys are saying in your mind, at least, is like, okay, I'm already slammed. I don't have time to peel off 4 hours a day to fix my bottleneck. So that said, I was up this early in the morning at about 5 o'clock this morning, trying to troubleshoot this Zoom call. And once again, the tech on it is a little bit different than an average Zoom call. And having the opportunity to work on things after my kids go to bed. And then in the early morning, when I'm not dealing with client phone calls, when I'm not dealing with emails coming in, when I can sit and focus and I don't have someone knocking on my office door asking me for their opinion on something. So if the bottleneck is something that needs to be fixed and the constraint is you don't have enough time to do it, you might need to try to sacrifice some time when the world is quiet, early mornings or evenings, when you can be without distractions. So that said, how many of you guys were at Rebel last year? Drop a 1 in the chat if you guys were at Rebel last year. Okay, good. So one of the things that I didn't get to do during that event was I didn't get to really sit and listen to the speakers because I was locked in trying to do the AV thing, making sure the show would run. So it wasn't until after I started editing the replay that I was able to sit and really listen to all the speakers and what they had to say. And the one that really stuck out to me, and if you guys know me well enough, it's not that surprising, but like Ben Hardy, the way that he speaks in frameworks and systems and processes, it really kind of lit something in my brain. And one thing that he said that he resonated with me, and it was like a sentence that he said, but he moved past it pretty quickly, was you have to raise your floor. So like if all of us have these really audacious goals that we want to try to do, and it's not necessarily production, it could be time freedom, it could be money freedom, it could be spending more time with your kids. That said, how much stuff are we doing that's actually pulling us away from reaching that goal? So like Chris and I, when we came in, our BHAG, our big, hairy, audacious goal is to close 280 units within our first 12 months together, which is nuts. The most that I've ever done myself was 113, and I'm sure Chris has done at least that much as well. So for us to do that in a down market, Like there's a lot of shit that we have to clip and get rid of that is actually pulling us away from getting that goal. So like if you are raising your floor, it's more a function of saying no than saying yes. Now, as an agent, you guys get marketed to all the time. You guys get pitched to all the time. And I understand the irony of me pitching you to be in this call as one of those things. So I that's not lost on me. However, that said, how much are you guys being thrown all the time? Say, hey, look at me. This is the new shiny penny. This is the new CRM. This is the new video script. If you're not doing this, you're failing. If you're not buying this thing, then you'll be screwed. You're going to die penniless on the street. Like, so everything has felt existential for a long time. And the pitches that you guys are getting are only getting more rampant. So if you have this big goal, if you want to have this big life, you have to be a steward of the things that you're saying yes to. But more importantly, you have to be absolutely maniacal when it comes to saying no to things. There's a scene in the Matrix, and it's Neo walking down the street, and he passes a girl in a pretty red dress, and he stops listening to the person to Morpheus that is trying to coach him on whatever. Well, the thing is as you guys start going and progressing and getting better, the woman in the red dress is only going to become more attractive, more beautiful, more appealing. So as you are going through your day, you're going to be presented with distractions that you feel like are dire right now. However, the higher you climb in this game, the more the sexier the woman gets. So you have to be, once again, maniacal about saying yes to things that you probably are going to use a distraction to keep you from getting to where you want. Okay. So,
Right.
Yeah.
So I hear you loud and clear. I'm resonating with you. Sometimes we don't always know the things we should say yes to and or the things we should say no to. Again, kind of that important versus urgent. Sometimes you get stuff and you're like, man, this is really important. Should I do this? Should I not do this?
Mm-hmm.
And, there's consequences to either action, good, bad, or indifferent. And sometimes you just don't really know which way to go.
Okay.
So just a thought.
No, and I hear you, Brian. And really, I've struggled with that a lot too. And here's kind of how I have looked at this from a standpoint of trying to understand what I should be focusing on. So what Brian's talking about is the important versus urgent. It's called the Eisenhower Matrix. So the Eisenhower Matrix is a tool that a lot of coaches, a lot of business owners use to try to determine if something is worth their time. How many of you guys have heard of the Eisenhower Matrix? Okay. So I'm going to pivot here real quick. And I'm going to butcher this, so don't judge my spelling. There, it's right here at the top. Okay. So the Eisenhower Matrix. Let me see if I can get a video. There you go. All right. So the Eisenhower Matrix is basically this 4-piece quadrant that helps us determine what projects we should be working on. Now, I didn't add this to the slides today, but this is actually really relevant. So it basically breaks down into 4 quadrants. So urgent, not important, important, not important, urgent, not urgent, important, not important. So basically this is how you are going to delineate what needs your attention right now. So if I wanted to start a YouTube channel, yeah, I got you, buddy. So, if you wanted to start a YouTube channel, like Malika was in here earlier this week and we were going over, YouTube. So like right now, is YouTube going to be the thing that's going to get her closer to, her goal, whatever it would be, say it's 50 units a year? Or is it going to be a distraction? So if it is going to be a distraction, if she's going to play that as a long-term game, then I would say that it's important, but not urgent. So this would sit here. As soon as she gets all of her important and urgent things done, then she can move to the next matrix or the next quadrant. If she wanted to, Malika, what is something else that you want to work on right now?
Building up my social media.
Okay. Now, to get you to your goal is getting your social media figured out. Is that important to you reaching your ultimate unit goal?
Well, yes, like more urgently, you mean?
Okay. Yes. So one thing that Malika talked about this week was she gets a lot of her business from paid leads, paid ads. So if her ad gets shut off, that is dire. So I would think that she would need to spend as much time as possible figuring out how to get her ads turned back on so that immediate lead source can come in, versus it taking 6 months to figure out social media to start getting one lead in to go move that channel. So paying attention to the Eisenhower Matrix and like the projects, to Brian's point, that you want to work on can fall into one of these 4 boxes. But making sure that you're addressing the things that are important and urgent right now that are going to help protect your business going forward. Okay. All right. All right. So one of the things that I wanted to do for you guys is I wanted to give you guys access to the replay. Now, don't tell the other guys from Rebel, but this is something that was part of our ticket prices. So if you don't have it, here it is again. I highly recommend that you go watch Ben Hardy again, and where he can tell you or show you how to raise your floor. And once again, it has completely shifted my priorities in the marketing department. It has helped Chris shift his priorities in the conversion department. So once again, it is just making sure that we are doing the right things right, and focusing on the things that are actually going to move our business forward versus those distractions. Okay. So one of the tools that I have been working on, and some of you guys got to see iteration 1, but this is going to be the primary tool that we are going to use to help you hit your goals going forward. So inside of our internal team, we have basically built our own sales tool. So anytime that you guys give us a lead, it goes in here and then it gets tracked, and then we add it to our P&L. So one of the things that we wanted to do is we wanted to help you guys hit your goals too. So once you get access to your ledger, one of the first things that you're going to do is you're going to start seeing different activities. So inside, let's go back here. Where are you? Okay. So the first thing that you're going to come to once you get into your ledger is you're going to set your goals.
Ryan, could you put that back up there again? I missed it.
Okay. There we go.
Okay. Thank you.
Welcome. All right. So one of the first things that you're going to come to once you get into the ledger is you are going to be asked what your goals are for the year. So put in your 12-month unit goal. All right. So getting back to the sewing. So let me pull this back up. All right. So in this, we want to make sure that we're giving you guys opportunities to track your metrics. This basically breaks down into 2 different quadrants. So it breaks it into activities and then outputs. So the first part, we're going to call this inside of the community, we're going to call this sowing. So once again, a biblical principle, you have to sow a field, you have to seed a field before you can harvest it down the road. So basically in your activity tracker, it breaks down into a couple different activities that you're going to be doing on the regular. So social touches. So social touches are basically you commenting on other people's social media that can buy from you. So that is not other real estate agents. That is not me. That is your database. That is that divorce attorney that sends you leads. That is other people's content. So like if Alyssa makes a post and I want her attention, if I make a nice comment on that post, that is going to put me in an elevated status versus the other loan officers who didn't do anything, who just scrolled past it. So specifically on consumers, your database, your clients, the engagement, the comments are low. But if they see you consistently commenting on their social media that they're taking time and effort to put out, you are going to continue to stay top of mind with them. Okay. Now, if Alyssa has some green time on Monday morning where she's going to go through for 20 minutes and comment on other people's posts, all she's going to do is if she comments on 10 people's posts, she's just going to click and she's going to start racking up, I guess you can call them points. Okay. And then she went to an event earlier this week. Okay. Now she's getting a unit for that. So with each of these, 100 social touches a month, 20 face-to-face calls a month, or face-to-face interactions a month. And these are with people that can buy from you. 20 pieces of content a month, 50 DMs. Now a DM is a text message. That is a Facebook DM. That is an Instagram DM. That is a one-to-one written text message or a written message that goes to someone that can buy from you. The only exception to this is events, because you need to still be social and have your face out there and be known within the agent community that you are swimming in. So that way they can know you as well. Okay. So that is the sowing portion of this. Now, the reaping portion of this is where you're going to start farming the fields. So the goal that you put in up front helps adjust these numbers. So if you put in 100 units a year versus 20 units a year versus 2 units a year, these numbers, as far as your goals, adjust. And they adjust month per month based upon the ebb and flow of the market. So like right now, we are at a high point of the market. In November, we're at a low point of the market. So these numbers will adjust each and every month. So as you are going through and you get leads, you are going to be filling out this information. Okay, so Alyssa, this is actually a good piece that you're bringing up. So what's going to happen is we just don't want everyone just flooding into the tracker, because once again, this is an internal system for us. So what you're going to see is you're going to see an invite link required, and Chris and I are going to have to approve you to get access to the tracker, because we don't want this to get thousands of agents in it and only 4 people use it. So once you invite yourself, you are going to have Chris and I approve your ability to be able to get access. Okay. All right. So does anyone have any questions about the tracker and its purpose and how it is going to help you? All right. So does anyone think that they are going to use it? Okay, good.
Looks pretty good, Brian. Yeah.
Thank you. And once again, I am not a programmer. I have vibe coded this whole thing. So there is an opportunity here to where I would have missed something and not programmed it right. But just let me know if you have a bug, and I'll be happy to fix that bug for you. All right. Let me see here. Where are we? Going reaping, save report. Okay. So once you get in, once you do get your link, I would say that you need to save this to a bookmark somewhere, a bookmark on your phone, because this works on mobile, a bookmark on your desktop. So that way you guys can access it. And during your green time, you actually have it up and you can use it as you are in your green time activities. Okay. Set your 12-month goal. Okay. So.
Ryan, can I stop saying something real quick?
Yeah, fire away. Chris Maynard the most handsome salesperson I know, most in office. I'm just gonna stop. Chris, go ahead.
So a lot of us over the years, especially sales folks, have had coaching, right? And unless you've got this rock star coach, coaching is really just accountability. Your coach is your accountability partner because you don't want to jump on your bi-weekly and monthly call with them and say, I did what I was supposed to do. I didn't do what we talked about doing last question. That is set up for making successful or help me be more successful. That's exactly what this is. It's accountability. If you use it, then you will see that you're doing the activities and that those are the activities that are there to help you grow your business, build your business. And, now that stagnant area, I saw there were a lot of random growing when you get asked where the business is at. And when you have a tool like this, it takes some getting used to. Same with me when Ryan was out for ours. There are things I was doing and I just wasn't marking it. But then when I found out that I was consistently using it, I was consistently marking it, I'm being really much more intentional about making comments on people's posts and when people post for me. But this is a great tool, but it's only good if you use it. So please use it, and give it a try at least. Give it a month. Don't give it 2 weeks or anything like that. Give it a good month and see what kind of impact it makes on your business. And then the other thing real quick, I believe it was Brian was talking about earlier, just time blocking, man. One of my coaches years ago, one of my ninja coaches said to me, there's nothing in our business that can't wait for 2 hours. And so when I do my time block, I'm very intentional about it. Now I'll peek at my text or something like that, just to make sure there's not a 911 or something, especially if I have a closing coming up or a deadline I have to meet. But I can get 10 texts in my time blocking time, in my time blocking that I have when I'm doing, green activities, and I'll put those texts off because I have to be very intentional. And this is a non-negotiable because it is a time block and I block that time for a reason, because just like your time, Brian, my time is really valuable. And I also I go home to kids in the evening. So I try to get everything done in the day so I can hang out with my kids. Well, they don't really like to hang out with me anymore, but you just have to be intentional. So you have to be intentional about using the scoreboard. You have to be intentional about how you, protect your time and protect your peace and things like that. So I would challenge you to try it. I would challenge you to try it to see what kind of results you can get. That was it for me. Sorry.
There we go. All right. Sorry, my Zoom is acting wonky this morning. Thank you, Chris. I appreciate you, bud. Yeah, I mean, Chris is exactly right. So like being diligent, being maniacal about your time block is going to be the thing that saves you more than anything. Now, a couple things on the scoreboard, because once again, we want this to be a community where we compete with each other in a healthy way. Once again, no one's throwing shade at anyone else, but there is nothing wrong with a little healthy competition. So right now, Zoya, I use you as kind of the guinea pig. So inside of your activity tracker, you are going to have the ability, by requesting it from Chris and I, to turn on you getting access to the scoreboard. We don't want you guys to be able to turn it on and off this yourself, because if you have the ability just to dip in and out, then you can start fading as far as you actually doing what you're supposed to do. So if you want the ability to see how you're doing against the other people in the community, once again, this is cumulative. So if you have a bad sales month, you can make it up with activities. If you were just stroking it on your sales activities, like getting leads, those kind of things, but you've slacked off on your social media, once again, it's cumulative between both your sowing and your reaping. And it's for an entire month. So if you go on vacation, you can come back and you can make it up the next week when you get back. So if you want to be on the scoreboard, and I highly, highly encourage you guys to take part and participate on the scoreboard and check the scoreboard and see where you guys are competing with each other. I think this is going to help accelerate your activity. Cause like, Justin Phillips says, the easiest way to skip going to the gym is have no one holding you accountable, having no one looking at you to see if you're doing the things that you're supposed to be doing. So with this, that was the whole intent behind the scoreboard, is to see how you are stacking up against everyone else, and not as a shaming point, but as an encouragement piece. Oh, Malik is just kicking my ass this month, so I have to step it up and start doing a little bit more activities. Or if I can just do 2 more things, I can catch up to AJ. Or Jenny is just on fire this month, let me send her a really good encouragement. So like, whatever that is, like, I want this to be a positive place to where it is going to help you guys do the things that we all know, myself included, that we should be doing. Like, Chris is great at handwritten notes. I suck at them, but I still have to do them. But he's holding me accountable for that. Hence the whole idea behind the scoreboard. Okay. So I am not going to sit here and tickle you guys for the sake of just bleeding out time. So we're just going to wrap up here, if that's okay with you. Once again, I know we're all busy. So once again, save your portal. You bookmark it somehow, and then set your 12-month goal once you get access to it. If you haven't requested access to it, let us know. Chris and I will be happy to give you guys access to the tracker, because once again, it is going to help you also with us know where your leads are that you send to Chris and I. So we move the Johnsons from application to in contract. You guys are going to be able to track those things as we go as well, so no lead gets lost. Okay, so my ask for you is 2 things. So who else do you know that needs to be part of the community? Invite them to these calls, because once again, we're going to be doing this every other week. And it's basically going to be broken out into sowing, which is like marketing activities, and then reaping, which is sales activities. So next week, Chris is going to be coming on, and he's going to be talking about a hot topic that he and I have been talking about a lot, is fishing in the wrong ponds. Quick story. There was a loan officer that I sat next to at the last company that I was at, and it was a very frequent occurrence that she would be screaming at the top of her lungs at her clients that just went and spent all their down payment money, or they stopped paying their bills, or they went to Vegas, or. So she's working hard and breaking her back trying to get these clients across the finish line, but they could not be bothered to do the things that they were supposed to do. So Chris and I are seeing a pattern of this. I don't think with anyone on the call, but the next call, we're going to show you how to start fishing in a different pond if you're not getting the leads that you want. You guys work too hard to not get paid a decent living wage for the amount of effort and care that you guys pour into your people. However, they also have to be willing and able to be able to transact when the time's right. So next call, make sure you show up for it in 2 weeks, 2 Thursdays. And if you guys need help with anything between now and then, you guys have our contact information. And if you don't, scan the QR code and it opens up a text message, and then we will be happy to have you come in and help you guys fix your bottleneck. Now, for our first call, that's it for today. Does anyone have anything else that they need help with in the short term while you have Chris and I's attention? Feel free to unmute.
We filled out some of those things online. You're gonna go through those and send us the links and stuff back later, Ryan.
Yes.
Gotcha. Okay. Cool.
Okay. Well, once again, you know how to get a hold of us. Once again, I'm so grateful that you guys showed up for the first community call. The intent for this is, once again, to try to gather people and serve, because once again, that's what we have been called to do, be good stewards of your time and attention. So I'm going to tell you guys to go crush it today. And if you need anything from Chris and I, let us know, and we'll see you guys on the next one.
Hey, Ryan.
Yeah.
I was searching for my tracker from our last meeting in June while you were talking about it. Are you going to be sending a new link to everybody?
Yeah. So what I will do is I will send, once again, it's a personalized link. So no one else has the same link as you. So Angelus only has the Angelus link. But yes, I will get you your tracker.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
You're welcome, buddy.
Have a good day.
See you later.